Hi everybody.
Hey, hey. So this is another Saturday.
And here we are again. Yeah, good to see you all. Hope you're having a lovely time, whatever it is that you're doing. We're here again just to air a few, I suppose, different subjects to talk about. I hope you find it interesting. So here we go. Yeah.
Fine. At last, spring is here. Yeah, the winter was severe, and it was a disaster again. And again, municipal services found it extremely surprising that the winter was there, and we had.
It's like they'd never seen snow before.
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, and this winter was especially scary, I would say.
Well, it's good to see the back end of it. I mean, one thing I love about Russian weather is the complete extreme of hot and cold in a way that I've never actually experienced before. So it's nice. It's nice now that we've, as Misha says, we've seen the back end of winter. The only problem I do have, and I don't want these podcasts to turn into just a whole series of problems and that kind of thing, but your spring here lasts normally for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then it gets oven hot for about, I don't know, what, 4 or 5 months, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So anyway, my question for today is, how did you survive the winter we had? Because I think you are not used to such winters, because it's according to stereotypes of, let's say, according to stereotypical weather in England, there are no such winters in your country.
Yeah, you're right. Except to say that for the last 8 or 10 years, we have been having some pretty cold winters, but nothing on the same level as here. But -4, -8, that's pretty much the coldest it'll get down to. But look, it's like anything, you just adapt to it. And I always said to myself, don't let it become a problem, don't let it become inhibiting. If there's something you want to do that's outside, dress up properly for it. It's not rocket science, and it's still a novelty for me, I have to say, the cold. I still quite like it. It hasn't beaten me down just yet, so bring it on.
This is
Bitch. Sorry.
This is exactly what I'm not the last one, but bring it on and just be ready. But I've lived in Rostov since the day I was born, and from time to time we have severe winters with frost, which is approximately something which may go down below, which may go down to the level to extreme levels like 25 below zero.
Well, it got down to -29.
Yeah.
Winter just gone. Yeah.
And you know what? Every winter, I tell myself like, oh, just get ready. Like, it'll be okay. Yeah, because there is one more problem in Rostov is slippery roads, and ice is basically everywhere. And maybe one day in 2377, the municipal services will find the way how to eliminate ice on the road for our city, to stop, to make our city walkable, not a skating rink we have every damn winter. Right, so...
Well, that's for another time. We'll be long gone by the time that happens.
Unfortunately, unless cryo chambers are created, and we maybe one day we will be able to save some money to get frozen.
Walt Disney's been frozen, I think, hasn't he? There are a few mega rich people that have actually done it, and I'm pretty sure he's in a box frozen box somewhere waiting.
Indeed.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, sorry,
Okay.
sidetracked.
Okay. So we have discussed your adaptability to climate change.
Mhm.
So the next thing that we'll discuss is your adaptability to local culture.
Mm. Okay.
So, and local culture, our discussion about local culture will comprise a number of things. The first thing is you've lived here for 3.5 years.
Yeah,
already,
about
yes?
that. Yeah.
And one of the viewers asked us to discuss such a thing. What shouldn't a foreigner do in Russia? What we may say, what is a taboo for a foreigner,
Okay.
or what is not advisable to do?
Okay, well, quite a few things, I think, really. It's coming from England, we do have more of a, I suppose, a direct involvement and, as a result, appreciation of politics, essentially, and the agents of change. And you guys don't have that so much here. So my point being that we like to talk about it in Britain. So, and I wouldn't exactly call it a taboo here, but sometimes during speaking sessions the subject of politics will come up and you can just see faces drop and people thinking, oh God, not this again, you know. So that's one thing that I would leave alone, not because it's a divisive subject necessarily, but just because it's pretty boring. You know, a lot of people I've spoken to here just genuinely aren't that interested. So that's one thing I'd leave alone. Unless that's not a flat rule. If you meet people that are receptive to this kind of talk, then by all means, if you're a foreigner watching this, but it's unlikely you are, take your shoes off in a Russian house. Absolutely, I've made that mistake once or twice, but you know, there haven't been any consequences as a result. I haven't had feet chopped off or anything like that. But what did we say? Not do or do?
No.
Not
shouldn't
do. Another thing is insult Russia. Now, if there are any Brits watching this, you'll understand what I mean, and Russians as well. Now, there's I wouldn't call it a phenomenon, but both Russians and British people are quite self-deprecating. What that means is you're very quick to insult yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been in situations where with a group of Russians and they'll be saying, oh, I hate my country, nothing's working, and blah blah blah, the weather's terrible, and then as soon as I say something like, yeah, this is awful, this is terrible, they look at me like, what? How can you say that?
What did you just
I mean,
say?
yeah, exactly. And you just feel like, well, I'm just joining in the conversation. But I hope you understand what I mean with that. And the British, we're like that as well. You know, we're the first to kick ourselves when we're down. But if somebody else tries to kick us, then we'll get back up and start fighting. You know.
Okay.
So that's another thing not to do. But I don't know. Beyond that, I can't really think of anything else. I think there's weird perception that we're totally different people, but we're not. You know, we aspire to the same things ultimately.
Maybe something from absolutely, you know, from everyday life things.
That's a good question, but no, I can't actually think of anything. Maybe that means that I'm too Russian now. I don't know.
Okay, so let's enumerate the things first. You shouldn't.
What did I say? Engage in politics unless absolutely necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't
Yeah.
not take your shoes off.
Shouldn't take. Yeah.
Shouldn't take your. No, you should take your shoes off.
Should take your. Yeah.
So,
So Yeah, you should take your shoes off. Yeah.
Yeah, but you shouldn't not. You better edit this bit. We look like dicks.
Okay. Take your shoes off.
Yes, do it. Take your goddamn shoes off. Whoever you are, Pakistani, whatever, Chinese, Russian house, shoes off. Fact. And the last one, what did we say? I can't remember now. Don't insult Russia. Yes, that's right. If you're a foreigner, of course. Leave it to the Russians.
Yeah. Okay, topic number 3.
Okay.
Let's talk about another thing that actually has been, let's say, transformed from your culture into ours.
What you're saying is you blame my culture.
Yes.
Hipsters.
Okay.
I have to say it quietly. Hipsters.
Mm-hmm.
Hipsters. I think the first thing we probably need to do is define them.
Good question.
And hipsters, by definition, won't want to be defined. So if you're a hipster watching this, switch off now. I think that'd be a good idea. Hipsters fundamentally seek, as far as I understand it, a complete, in all senses, view of independence or distinctiveness, both from their own outlook and how they're perceived by other people. They try and dress differently. On some level, they'll try and think differently. They'll listen to different music, regardless of whether they like it or not, just because it's different. And it's irritating, I have to say, because it's kind of like a religion, but the next step down. They're very often in your face about it. They want you to see that they are totally individual, that they're just so original, and you just kind of think, guys, are you really that self-absorbed that you need to go to these levels? Let me give you, or sort of refine that a little bit more. I was in a restaurant a couple of nights ago, and a group of said hipsters came in, and you could see that they'd all spent quite a lot of time individually on their looks, but they all ended up looking the same. And that's the paradox of this hipster situation. They all shop essentially in the same places, and they have basically the same images, this sort of weird comb-over haircut, rolled up skinny jeans, rolled up at the bottom, with these, they look like Converse All-Star copy trainers. I was going to say check shirts, I've got one of those on now, but that doesn't qualify me as a hipster. And really big beards as well. I think
even if you're 18.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you're 18. Sorry guys, I just don't like them. You know.
Oh my god. Anyway, I've actually found something on the Wikipedia.
Okay.
The subculture has been described as mutating transatlantic melting pot of styles, tastes and behaviors.
It's nice and ambiguous, but okay.
I'll go on. And is broadly associated with indie and alternative music, a varied non-mainstream fashion sensibility, including vintage and thrift store bought clothes, progressive, independent or far-left political views, organic or artisanal. Artisanal?
Yeah.
Artisanal, yeah.
Artisanal, yeah.
Artisanal foods.
Yeah.
Artisanal foods, what the hell is this?
Haute cuisine, things like a cucumber on a plate with a bit of sauce on it, just because it looks good on the plate. Or asparagus. Yeah.
Alright. And alternative lifestyles. Hipsters are typically described as affluent,
yeah.
or middle-class young bohemians who reside in gentrifying neighborhoods.
Yeah, that means more well-to-do neighborhoods, places with a bit more money. So I suppose there is an aspirational element to being a hipster. There's a good description of that, but it doesn't really touch on the individuality aspect of it, and I'm 99% sure that that is a huge part of it, wanting to be different from the crowd, but not so different that you look like a dick or anything like that. Can I say that?
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, if you're a goth or a sort of late 90s trance raver and you're thinking about wanting to become a hipster, think twice. There must be better options than that, or just stick with being a goth.
But still, in a way, in every subculture, there is like a true goth, for example, a true punk, a true hipster, maybe. Can you define? I have a weird feeling that, of course, dear viewers, I don't want you to think that we are totally anti-hipsters or we are hipsterophobic or something like this. Absolutely not. But what we are seeking is, at least this is my
final solution.
It's my endeavor. In fact, I don't know about you. But he's not with me actually. What I'm seeking, and I've always been seeking, is the true definition of this or that style, because we know that there are some people who, for example, call themselves goths, and they listen to some fucking Nightwish, which is absolutely not, or has no connection to this subculture, and so on and so forth. So there've been so much ambiguity about this whole thing, and what I would like you and us as well, like right now, to define the true hipster, who would actually be the let's say a kind of a bohemian, but it's not bad if you are a bohemian, right? It's
when you say define it, do you mean provide an example?
An example of a good model hipster. I don't know if it's possible.
Okay. Yeah.
Because if you meet a person and he's a good chap or a good chick, and okay, it turns out that he or she is a hipster. So what can you do? Will you say, okay, you're a nice person, but oh my God, what this clothes you're wearing and this food you're eating right now, this is revolting.
Well, a hipster by definition will not want to be called a hipster. So if you label one directly as being a hipster, he or she will deny it. So there is some element of denial to the process of becoming one, I guess, if that makes any sense at all.
Okay, so.
But yeah, do it. Try and find somebody. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And we can analyse that a little bit more. What makes them a true hipster? That's your homework.
Right. We as being music fans, both of us, we must start this one. I think we'll do it on a regular basis. We'll review some albums, or in a way, because these days not many people actually listen to albums. So we might think of recommending you some stuff that we've been listening to, like either separately or together, and we'll give our, let's say, estimation. So we'll try to
our own humble opinions.
Give our humble opinions, be it positive or negative. I think any opinion is interesting. Right. So the first one. Well, shall we start with your stuff, because it's let's say it's got more retro feel to it.
Okay. What? Sorry, do you mean the one that I listened to, or the one I recommended?
Yes, absolutely.
Which one?
Hot since
okay.
82.
You go ahead with that one.
Oh, okay.
I can give you just a bit of backdrop.
This is what we definitely need.
Hot Since 82 is a solo producer based in, as far as I know, Leeds in the north of England. And he produces basically deep house music. He's done it in such a way where he's managed to retain a lot of what you might call old school values, but basically bringing it, I suppose, into giving it a contemporary feel. By my interpretation is that there are little industrial elements to it which work very well in a big room, and it's dance music. I should just clarify that. Anyway, your opinion. You listened to some of him or it?
My opinion. Well, I listened to the album Little Black Book. Yes, I listened to that yesterday, and I must say that that's a very good example of a deep house record. Though it is released in 2013, it's got the sense, you get the feeling that it's 2001 in a way, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. The key features, I would say, are it's very, deep house is quite a conservative genre, and what you have there is a deep, soft bass lines. The kick drum is not as in happy rave stuff. It's also quite soft and deep, and bass lines and kick drums, and they're very close together. So the whole rhythm section is the leading element of that stuff, and of course it's got nice parts, and it's got one more element, let's say, of one more ingredient in the recipe is it's massively seasoned with jeez, I'm so culinary today. It's massively because I'm hungry, actually. Right, honestly. Okay. Yeah, I haven't eaten anything since morning, so
I've got half a hachapuri if you want to.
No thanks. I think I'll snap something. Anyway, it's okay. I'll go with salad vocabulary. It's seasoned with samples from I don't know what actually. Cyclic loops. Sometimes with some bits and pieces of different voices and things like that. Probably they're either movies or TV shows. I think they utilize anything. One thing that is up my street is one track from this album, and as I'm more into darker music, it's this track is called Transition, if I'm not mistaken. Transitions. Yeah. Transitions.
Did it? Yeah.
Track 10 or track 10, I think. Transitions. That
one? No?
Yeah. I think so, because half of the album is like that.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
Yeah, it's a beautiful track, very dark, with beautiful pad line, or like so to say, and beautiful melody. It doesn't, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mixing with other tracks, it doesn't contain any cyclic samples or something, like any decorum to it. It's just pure classic old school deep house with beautiful pad, beautiful melody, and very, it's very atmospheric, and I love that.
It's good. It was a lovely description. It's good music because it's very changeable in terms of where and how you listen to it. It's great to listen to through headphones, but equally if you get it in a big room and you hear the full dynamic range, it can be deceptively, I suppose, emotive is the best word, with breakdowns and then all the way back up kind of thing, and really picking you up and throwing you around on the dance floor, not literally obviously, but yeah, it can be good. So check it out, hot since '82, Little Black Book.
2013.
Indeed.
Right. Now your turn. I'll start with naming the project. It's a duo which is gaining more and more popularity these days. It's an American duo with Sarah Barthel and George Carter. If I'm not mistaken, they're long-term friends. And the name of the band is Phantogram. They've been in my headphones since last year, I think, or no, I think they've been there for 2 years already. Yes. So far, they have released one full length, one EP, actually a couple of EPs, but and the latest album, which we're going to talk about, is called Voices, 2014, quite fresh. As far as I understand, you listened to different, let's say, bits and pieces.
Yeah, I've got to
exactly
confess, I was in a bit of a rush last night, so I only got through probably 3 or 4 songs, but enough to get a picture, if you like, of what I was listening to. But I sent you a message when I was listening to them last night, and my message simply was, why haven't I heard of these guys before? Now, the reason I've said that is because they are, I guess, is it fair to say that they're underrated?
These days, they're, as I've said...
underpromoted.
I don't know, but they've been underground. But these days, the level of people's awareness of this band is definitely rising. So, as far as I understand, they've got some cool, producer. I don't know. I don't remember the name. So some kind of cool cat.
Just to frame them a bit, what we're talking about here in terms of style, and please correct me if my interpretation's wrong. As Misha said, they're a duo, and they do a lot of down tempo kind of stuff, which, for those of you who don't know what that means it's just a little bit slower. I mean, how many BPMs are we talking?
120, I think.
Really? That's just below that's a normal house, so that would have been hot since 82.
Okay, alright, 100?
Probably, about that, a little bit slower. Slightly breaky beats in some places, long, the songs I listen to, long driving bass lines, really nice use of loops, so that's repetitive samples as well, chunks. And I was surprised because they were extremely melodic, and I think, please don't take any offence by this, when you recommended them to me, I already, in my mind I had an idea of what they might be based on what you've talked to me about in the past, and so I was just completely surprised. The female vocalist has a wonderful voice, really I want to say really unique, but that's a horrible thing to say. She is
sensual.
Yeah, on some level. Yeah. What was the song I listened to?
Mouthful of Diamonds.
Mouthful of Diamonds. If you're gonna check these guys out, I mean that's the one I would listen to, but I'm sure Misha has a different or better suggestion. But check them out. Absolutely, really.
This first full-length album.
That's their first full length. It's music that's good both to listen to directly and also, as I found out last night, as I was getting changed, have on in the background, because it's not intrusive, but if you want it to be, it can be very engaging. There are always little bits within the layers of the music that you can pick out and follow for a little while and then move on to something else. That sounds like I'm on drugs. I'm not, I promise you, but yeah, check them out. Phantogram.
Speaking of the latest album, 2014, Voices in particular, I've read some reviews. Well, some reviews are, with critics raving and being totally ecstatic about the work. But one of them, from Pitchfork, by the way, was, let's say, was saying in his review, he's saying that they've changed more into, let's say, the area of background music. So it means that the songs became more blank, and I totally disagree with this. So the latest album is very strong. I mean, it's very cool. It's absolutely amazing. It's got great bass lines, very beautiful melodies. The final track, My Only Friend, is a masterpiece. It's so beautiful. It's got amazing melody, I don't know. It's amazing. So check out the latest album. It's powerful. It's melodic and atmospheric sometimes. Check it out. So, the last thing, we have got 1 or 2 minutes left. We will discuss Nymphomaniac. Yeah.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we allowed to give our personal views?
Yes,
on it?
absolutely.
Don't see it. Don't save your money. Real waste of time. If you watch it and you can find some kind of, I don't know, artistic integrity in the film, or something that we've missed, do pointed out some underlying story, some message, moral that comes out that's subtle in a way that you're supposed to dig and find it. Please do tell us, because apart from that, it is just a nothing film.
Yeah, it might sound, a lot of people might say that we don't understand something about this, and we are not maybe we are not into art house movies, but as I keep telling, I've been discussing this movie for quite a while and with many people, and I've seen loads of art house films, and this one is not exactly a good example of an art house movie. It's, in a way, it's quite visual, but unfortunately, it's totally blank. Miscast, loads of actors are wasted, I would say, in this one. Anyway,
there was one good scene, one brilliant scene, in fact, with Uma Thurman when she's. She was. That was. It was well done, that scene. Her, from an acting point of view, she put that across really well, and there was a funny moment in it, as far as I remember, but obviously not that funny.
I was looking forward to seeing some funny moments, but I didn't see any. All right, Nymphomaniac, skip it.
And number 2 as well.
Even worse.
Yeah, leave that.
Anyway, it's time to say goodbye, I guess. So see you next time.
Have a lovely week, or a couple of weeks. See you soon.
See ya. Bye.